All right, well, so since I don't get to do, or like I really don't have time to do a lot of videos for this channel, um, I just want to real quick remind people of the podcast. So, uh, last week's podcast episode was titled "Racism in Religion," and basically, my wife and I touched on how religion, basically used or racism and religion, like put two and two together. Like I like one of my favorite sayings is telling people that the like slavery, right? So slavery is a tool, and the Bible is the user's manual or the owner's manual. That's how I like to put it because basically what colonizers and oppressors did was they used the Bible to endorse slavery and to say, hey, this is our God, worship him, serve us, or you're gonna go to damnation, you go to hell or whatever. And that became the tool of the colonizers, like Europeans, Spaniards, Portuguese, Europeans, what have you. They're all Europeans. So, um, now in Roman times, the Romans used the Bible, which actually, they're pretty much the authors of the New Testament. The Romans basically authored the New Testament. They used it to conquer or, divide and rule or whatever, to conquer other nations. And they used that religion that symbolized the cross. There was Constantine that did that. Um, used the cross to basically conquer other lands, other territories. And if you did not convert to Christianity, then you were tortured and murdered. And the same could be said about Islam, or the same, yeah, it is the same thing. Like they did the same thing. You either became a Muslim and you submitted to Allah's will, or you were murdered. I don't really know if they really tortured a lot of people. They probably did, but I know for a fact they murdered a lot of people in the name of Allah. So we touched on that. We touched on parts of the Bible that basically endorse slavery, submitting to the will of the master, blah blah blah, all that, different little Bible verses. The podcast actually doing fairly good considering the audience we have. We don't have a overwhelming major audience, but we're now on. We just recorded episode 4, and we have over 100 plays or 100 streams. So that's to me, that's good because I mean it's my first podcast. It's my first attempt at a podcast, so I think it's doing really, really well. Considering the audience that we have. Uh, this YouTube channel, I'm kind of still like hit or miss with it because I really don't have time to do videos like that. So I do videos based on the time I have. I might not do a video every week. Um, you might see me do a video on her once a month, but I'm trying to change that. And right now, we want to get the podcast and the YouTube channel on the the same wavelength. We want to kind of like combine the two. Um, that's probably gonna take a minute, considering like the type of schedules that me and my wife have. Like she's working, going to school. I'm working crazy hours a lot of times. So we might have one day a week of free time, and we just don't have time to like we want to spend time with each other and with the kids. We don't really want to be sitting there like doing videos and stuff. We're a working family. We hustle. We don't have a whole lot of time in the day to contribute to social media. Like a lot of times if I'm on Facebook, I'm at work on Facebook. If she's on Facebook, she's at work on Facebook or at school. So unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to contribute to social media, but I'm gonna try to take a few minutes of my day or a week to contribute more videos. Basically, this channel is just I use it for the podcast to keep people informed. What's going on with the podcast. In case you haven't heard the podcast, is Speak No Pseudo. It's on Anchor FM. It's on Spotify. It's on Google Podcasts. It's on Breaker and a few other. If you go to Anchor FM, and you can pretty much stream it from there. Anchor FM, the app or the website, and just type in Speak No Pseudo, and it'll pop up. You'll see it. This week, hopefully Friday, we will finally be addressing the ABO movement, what we call the ABO movement, which is basically the autonomous, wannabe autonomous Black Native American movement. And this is kind of like what I'm famous for, is attacking these group of people. Dane Calloway blocked me on my old Facebook page back in 2018. He blocked me on my Facebook. He had a little group or whatever he started, and he blocked me from that group or page or whatever it was. Because I used to go at him. I'm like, boom. So now, in the past couple of years, he's gained a lot of a following, and he has all these followers and whatever, and all these different type of people, they coming up in the little movement or whatever, and they have a lot of people follow this madness. Like, they really feel like Black people did not come from Africa, that they were here first. And then you had different sets of mind, people with different sets of minds to say, Black people, they were here first. Like, Black people was just in America first. Period. For being here for millions of years. I've seen people say Black people been here for 3 million years. Like, that's totally impossible. Modern humans are not even a 500,000 years old. Only about 200,000 years old, modern humans. The migration of modern humans out of Africa only started roughly 200,000 years ago. So how in the hell were people here 3 million years ago? Not modern humans anyway. So yeah, we're gonna be addressing that on this week's episode. Now, I'm actually gonna take the time, because I have a lot of research on this subject. So it's going to be very informative. So what I'm going to try to do is do a live stream video with the podcast. I'm not sure where I'm going to do the video yet. I don't have enough followers on YouTube to do a live YouTube. If you guys could help me out, the few followers I do have up here, help me out. Need some more. I need about 1,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube to get to do live videos. And I would love to do live YouTube videos, but I don't have that big followers. So possibly it'll be IG, maybe Facebook. I don't know yet, but we are. If not, this episode is going to be coming soon. That we're going to start streaming live videos with the podcast as well. So kind of like give you guys something, because a lot of people don't like listening to podcasts. A lot of people like watching videos. So we got to combine the two, So yeah, like I said, this week, hopefully Friday, tomorrow, we will be doing the podcast on the so-called Black Indigenous Native American movement, or we was here movement, we wasers, whatever they want to call themselves. I don't know. Like, it's madness. It's pseudo, and we're not gonna let them continue with this lie that they keep promoting. But anyway, enjoy your day.